Good day, hallelujah, it's good to be back with you. And I've got a question today for those believers who believes in the rapture and the Antichrist and the 7-year tribulation that is supposed to come, 1,000-year reign of Christ on earth, the great tribulation that must come, all that kind of stuff. I've got a question, and today I just want to ask you one question, but there are more questions that's going to come. I want to ask you a few questions. Now, the first question is based on Daniel chapter 9. I don't know if you guys who believes in the end times know that your whole belief system is based on Daniel chapter 9. That's where you get your timetable from, and you find it in verse 24 to 27. Right, where God says, since the command to restore Jerusalem, which happened in 483, somewhere there before Christ. Okay, but God said He was giving 490 years to the Jews, to Daniel's people. Right, so what the people has done, they took the last 7 years out from the 490 and they postponed it to the future. And so there's a gap in the 490 years. They placed a gap. The gap is now nearly 2,000 years. It's growing all the time. So my question to you is, where do you get that gap from? Okay, where do you get that gap from? Because there is no gap in the Bible. And if there is no gap in God's timetable, who gives any person the right to put a gap in there? Okay, the whole end time doctrine is based on that. If you don't know it, then I must tell you, you know very little about what you actually believe in. Okay, so that 7 years that they took out, they say that is the great tribulation that must still come. And just before that is the rapture. Now, if you take that gap out, what do you do with that 7 years and the rapture and the whole message going around that? What are you doing with that then? So that's my first question today to you. Where do you get that gap? Who gives anybody the right to put a gap where God did not put a gap? And then, what do you do now with the 7 years that's supposed to come, the 7-year tribulation, the beast of Revelation, the beast of Revelation, who they also call the Antichrist, the 666, mark of the beast. What do you do with all that stuff if you now take that gap out? Where do you place that now? Does that move back now to the 490 years, or where do you fit that in? That's my question. Second question to follow in the next video. Think about it. Selah. God bless you. We love you. Amen.